This is what the Kansas City Chiefs need to do in the 2024 NFL Draft. Ryan Wilson and Chris Paso from the With the First Pick podcast here to give you an ultimate mock draft for the defending Super Bowl champs. We have the final pick in the first round. Off we go to the NFL Mock Draft Database Simulator. Fingers crossed for Drake May. Here we go, pick 32. So L'Jarius Sneed is now in Tennessee. And in terms of movement in free agency, as I check my notes here, Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, and Irv Smith appear to be the big movers outside of course, bringing back Chris Jones.
Yeah, not a lot for the Chiefs, but they've won back-to-back Super Bowls, so it's not like they need to make
wait a second.
Changes.
Troy Fautanu sitting right there, and you need tackle help.
You need a tackle help. I think that is to have the situation at 32 to be in this luxurious of a situation for the Chiefs. Like, you would be ecstatic if you're Brett Veach. I think you have to go with that offensive tackle from Washington.
So Wanya Morris was drafted last year, did some spot duty, and was fine. But if you have an opportunity to get a Troy Fautanu, you take Troy Fautanu. All right, that's easy. We don't need to spend a lot of time on that, Harry. Hit the button. All right. And we'll just
A+ we got on that pick.
Look at that. A+. We'll just toast for another 32 picks because we're up at 64. And Justin Watson, Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice, of course. Kadarius Toney still on the roster. We'll see how that plays out. Sky Moore. So I think there's some opportunity. Oh my gosh. Is Xavier Legette seriously sitting there right now?
He's still there, and I think he fits the yards after the catch kind of accentuated offense that the Chiefs have loved.
MBS is gone, and he's
I think you almost have to make this
more physical. Hit the wide receiver button just to make sure that Marvin Harrison didn't slip. He did not. All right.
Xavier Legette, it's the pick there. This is too easy, like layups for the team picking
A+
last
according
in the first
to the mock draft database simulator.
2 layups to start.
It feels like it. All right, let's see what we're going to do next. If there's a running back that we love, I would consider it. I like Pacheco. I don't love Pacheco. And then it's P. Ryan, Deneric Prince, Keontae Ingram, Hassan Hall, wrap it out. Oh, my gosh. Jalen Wright in that offense?
So I'm not quite as high on him as everyone else, but what you just said, him in the Chiefs offense where they're going to spread it around and hitting big plays. Pacheco, of course, ran sub 4.4. He hasn't really been like this 60-yard touchdown type. Jalen Wright is that kind of guy.
How about this? Do you like Blake Corum better in that offense?
No.
Okay.
No.
Here, hit the all button, Harry. Let's make sure I don't want to miss out. Are you on the all button? Okay, there we go. Mason Smith, Decent Isaac, a little something off the edge. Jeremiah Trotter. They did lose. I think they lost Willie Gay. They still have Nick Bolton and Leo Chenal. So Jonah Ellis.
They still have Drew Tranquil too. So linebackers probably.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards
your guy, Jalen Wright.
Jalen Wright. God,
at 95 too. That feels to me like I'm the biggest. That's where running back should be picked, like 3rd round, late. Like that's where they should start. And Jalen Wright's got super explosive ability.
Here's how I look at this. If you're one of the other teams in the AFC or the AFC West in particular, you're very unhappy with how this draft is unfolding for the Chiefs.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Jalen Wright time.
Offense.
Turn the card in, Harry. There we go.
131.
All right, do we
give us a C+ on that? Come on.
All right, let's see. I guess we ought to check out the cornerbacks here.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Williams out of Fayetteville State is currently listed at the start of their former 3rd-round pick. He's big, long, and physical. And Trent McDuffie, of course.
They have Jalen Watson too, right?
Jalen Watson, 7th-round pick when they crushed that draft. So
I see one that stands out to me.
Which one are you looking?
Elijah Jones.
I like Elijah Jones out of BC. Yeah,
man-to-man, had like 40+ inch vertical. To me, he's like flying under the radar. No one's talking about him. He kind of feels like that Steve Spagnuolo, like man-to-man, like in-your-face type corner. And
by the way, L'Jarius Sneed was a day 3 guy.
Yeah.
Jalen Watson was a 7th-round pick, and in terms of height, weight, they feel similar. I don't have their measurements in front of me, but they're not smallish. So yeah, Elijah Jones went to the Senior Bowl, had to get Senior Bowl there. Hit the button on that, Harry. Let's get a defensive guy on the board. Makes Spags happy. Next up, pick 159. We'll just go best player available. I got Mason McCormick's there. So we have Joe Thuney, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith.
They have some big decisions on the offensive line coming up with Creed
here's the thing.
Trey in the same draft class.
There's no one on the depth chart behind Creed or Trey Smith right now.
Do you like Bo Limmer? I do.
I do like Bo Limmer, and this is the mistake I made. I liked him a lot on tape, and then the Senior Bowl, I think he got blown up on one snap by, it may have been Tavondre Sweat. No crime in that, and I let it affect me. I moved him back up. I have him as an early day 3 guy right now.
I think at 159, I mean, you're going to re-sign Creed Humphrey, and you're going to probably try to re-sign Trey Smith. But with what you just mentioned, like not having that depth, like if one of those guys go down, I think that's been kind of an underrated, like stable force on these, back-to-back Super Bowl winning teams, that the interior of their offensive line has been so good, but mostly very healthy.
And by the way, behind Joe Thuney is Mike Caliendo. So are you leaning towards, no, that's literally his name. I never heard of him. I'm just looking at the depth chart. Like
I thought you were like blending Frank Caliendo and just throwing it totally did not know that either.
Yeah.
Mike Caliendo. I wonder if
no disrespect to Mike Caliendo, but I would imagine that Chiefs fans would be as surprised as we were if he had to go into the game for any reason.
Exactly.
So you want to do Mason McCormick or Bo Limmer?
You decide. You're the GM here. Do it. You're Brett Veach.
Let's go Mason.
Okay.
We talked about it before. He is athletic, and I think he gives you maybe a little more versatility in the interior.
Yeah, I think Bo Limmer is just a center all day.
Right.
I don't think he can play anywhere else.
All right. Next up, we are on pick 173.
173.
All right. That's Tyke Smith. I like a lot. Where are we looking?
Especially here.
What'd you say?
No, I was saying especially here at 173.
Oh, right, yeah.
I think it would be good value with Tyke Smith.
So, again, Sione Vaki is sort of a jack of all trades. I'm not sure. He didn't test as well as perhaps you would like. Jacob Cowing's a nickel. He's a slot guy. Scroll down just a hair, Harry. Let's make sure we're not missing anyone. Javon Solomon, Josh Newton, Jerry Jones, Isaiah Adams, James Williams. I think I'm leaning towards Tyke.
Me too. I think the playmaking ability, they've lost Juan Thornhill over the last couple of years. They have another playmaking safety, Tyrann Mathieu, obviously. That's kind of what Tyke Smith is. He can take the ball away from the opponent.
All right, let's do that.
Yep.
Man, this
one more pick.
Look at all the A's in this report card. Unbelievable. All right, one last pick here. 221, best player available. Let's check the quarterback situation because that's always fun. Patrick Mahomes, Chris Oladokun, and Ian Book are on the roster. Oh, Joe Milton's there.
Joe Milton. That would be fun to watch Patrick Mahomes and Joe Milton do like a throw off every Sunday.
What if Andy Reid got the most out of Joe Milton? How awesome would that be? All right, hit best player available just in case, Harry. I don't want to miss out on a layup. I do like Glaze.
Me too. I think at 230, whatever we're at, 231.
That's true. Joe Milton's fun, but at the end of the day, what's it accomplishing?
What about Anthony Gold here?
I love him. I love him as a slot guy. I think he plays faster than he timed. I think he timed fine.
And Marquise Brown only signed a 1-year deal, right? Like this is not someone that they're like investing in.
Sky Moore has yet to turn into the Sky Moore they were hoping for. And while he doesn't have a huge catch radius, he catches the ball away from his body pretty easily. And he does a yak guy.
Yeah.
And I think he's actually a track guy, a legit track guy as well.
He is.
Yeah, I prefer Gold to Joe Milton.
Okay, yeah. Let's do it.
That was the wiser heads prevailed. All right, that's it, man. Man, this is
5 A's, a B plus, and that C for like the pick that I think we agreed upon the most with Jalen Wright.
Yeah, and that C plus is professor just being a jerk. That's when you're smarter than the professor, and the professor takes that on you. Harry knows what I'm talking about. All right, this is pretty solid. Troy Fautanu fills a need. He could be a day one starter. Xavier Legette's going to get a ton of playing time. Jalen Wright is going to be someone make that backfield more explosive. Elijah Jones provides some depth in a post-L'Jarius Sneed world, and you just get depth after that, and you finish it out with Anthony Gold, slot receiver, who will have opportunities to play for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. That's it. That wraps up the perfect Chiefs draft class. Make sure to subscribe to NFL and CBS on YouTube and download the With First Pick podcast wherever you get your podcast, and stay tuned for more Ultimate Mock Drafts because we're covering all 32 teams.